You know that feeling, right? When the worst-case scenario you've built up in your head feels way more terrifying than what actually ends up happening. Well, today we're going to dive into exactly why our imagined fears can feel more real than reality itself. And, more importantly, what we can actually do about it.
So, let me paint you a picture. It's a scene that I'm willing to bet feels incredibly familiar, one that plays out inside your head almost every time a little bit of uncertainty pops up.
That's all it takes. Just 6 little words. But in your mind? Oh, the ominous music starts playing immediately. Your brain goes into full-on Netflix thriller mode, ready to direct its own little psychological drama.
And just like that, the thoughts start to spiral. I mean, you're not just getting fired, right? No. Your entire career is a smoking crater. You can literally picture the disappointment on your family's faces. It's a full-blown catastrophe playing out scene by scene right between your ears.
And then, reality hits. And it's totally fine, completely harmless. All that stress, all that anxiety, that physical knot in your stomach, it was all for a problem that never even existed outside of your own head. Sound familiar?
And this really gets us to the absolute core of what we're talking about today. The simple, shocking truth is that the vast majority of our suffering is self-created. It's a direct product of the stories we choose to tell ourselves.
So, in the next few minutes, we're going to unpack all of it. We're going to look at why your brain does this, the actual science behind it, the ancient wisdom that, believe it or not, warned us about this exact problem, and then, the best part, a practical toolkit to help you reclaim your peace of mind.
All right, let's jump right in. The best way to think about your brain is that it's kind of running on outdated software. I mean, it evolved over thousands and thousands of years to protect you from very real, very physical dangers.
And this is where it gets kind of wild. Just look at this contrast. Our brain's hyperactive threat detection system, the one that was designed to handle saber-toothed tigers and starvation, is now being set off by an unread text message. Or a weird tone in someone's voice. It's using a sledgehammer to crack a nut, creating these Hollywood-level disaster movies out of tiny, everyday events.
Okay, so that's the why. Now let's look at the science of how this actually happens. Because here's the crazy part. This isn't just a mental game. Your body is a very, very convincing actor, and it believes every single story your mind feeds it.
So when you just imagine getting fired, your brain's fear center, the amygdala, it totally lights up. It literally cannot tell the difference between a real lion about to attack and an imagined bad meeting. So what does it do? It floods your body with very real stress hormones, cortisol, adrenaline. You are physically living through a threat that doesn't even exist.
And there's actually a technical name for this whole phenomenon. Psychologists call it anticipatory anxiety. It's the official term for suffering in advance, paying the full physical and emotional price for a crisis that might never even show up. Now get this, this is a wild statistic. Research suggests that somewhere between 85 and 90% of the things we worry about never actually happen. Let that sink in. That means the vast majority of our anxiety is based on pure fiction. Your brain, as it turns out, is a terrible, terrible fortune teller.
But you know what's really fascinating? This isn't some new discovery we've just made with brain scans. Nope. Thousands of years ago, ancient philosophers understood this human tendency perfectly.
I mean, just listen to this. The Roman Stoic philosopher Seneca absolutely nailed it 2,000 years ago. He knew that our imagination was this incredible double-edged sword, both a gift and a source of immense and totally unnecessary pain.
And then you have the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius writing in his own private journal. He had this huge realization that anxiety wasn't some external force attacking him. It was internal. It was something he was creating, and because of that, it was something he could choose to let go of. Buddhist psychology has another really powerful way to think about this, with a metaphor called the 2 arrows. So the first arrow is the actual event. It's the unavoidable pain of life. A tough conversation, a mistake you made, an illness. This first arrow, it happens. It's just part of being alive. But then comes the second arrow. And this is the one we shoot at ourselves. It's the story we pile on top. This is a catastrophe, My life is over. Why does this always happen to me? See, the first arrow is pain. The second arrow, that's suffering. And that second one, it's completely optional.
So why on earth does our brain insist on firing that second arrow? Well, it really boils down to three key things. First, we have a built-in negativity bias that makes us overestimate threats, because, hey, that's what kept our ancestors alive. Second, we have a deep intolerance for uncertainty. The brain hates a vacuum, so it invents a bad story rather than have no story at all. And third, it's just a simple lack of being present. Our mind wanders away from the now and gets lost in future fears or past regrets.
Okay, so we've dug into the problem, the science, the ancient history. Now for the good part. How do we actually fix this? Let's walk through a practical 4-step toolkit to help you stop being a prisoner inside your own head. Now, before we get to the steps, you have to grasp this one core idea, because it's a game changer. Trying to stop your brain from having anxious thoughts is like trying to stop the ocean from having waves. It's impossible. The real power comes from learning to see the thoughts without automatically believing they're true.
So here's the playbook. 4 simple steps. Step 1, name it. Don't fight the thought, just label it. Say to yourself, there's the I'm getting fired story again. Just labeling it creates distance. Step 2, ask for evidence. Be a detective. Is this actually happening right now? Do I have any concrete proof? Spoiler alert, the answer is almost always no. Step 3, return to the present. Anchor yourself in reality. Feel your feet on the floor, listen to your own breathing, look at the room around you. And finally, step 4, train daily. This is a mental muscle. Things like meditation, journaling, or even just a walk outside strengthen your ability to stay calm and clear.
And when you start to practice these steps, something really amazing begins to happen. You start to reclaim something incredibly valuable, your inner freedom. You literally begin to change the entire relationship you have with your own mind.
This right here captures the whole point perfectly. Your imagination is a superpower. Yes, it can create anxiety, but it can also create art, find solutions, and build a vision for a better future. The goal is not to shut it down. The goal is to harness it, to become its master, not its victim.
So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. The next time you feel that anxiety rising, that feeling of impending doom, just pause and ask yourself, is the storm really out there in the world, or is it raging inside my own mind? The answer, you might find, is what will set you free.